Hi, how you doing? No, it's not even wet. How amazing is this? It's called a mouth coil. I used to do kids' parties, and now that I'm moving, I'm finding things. And yesterday we talked about balloons and balloon sculpturing. Today we found the magic box. What? Oh, goodness. How fun is that already? Okay. Now, I did not buy this box for my magic stuff initially. Initially, I found this beautiful box at Patricia Fields. Super cool spot. It was like a pharmacy, but cool because you can dye your hair pink or, manic panic you can buy. That was like a cool product. The word is manic in it. Manic panic. Ah! Or there was an actual line of hair product that was called Bedhead. Because it's like, do you want to look like you just woke up? Well, now you have to take the time to do it. Bedhead. Anyway, I thought this was so cool. And I really, this is like mid 90s. So I'm enjoying like a smidgen of the rave look. I may have had a pair of Jankos that I got as a gift because they were too expensive for me to buy. I would get the construction pants at J.C. Penney, I think, because those were like less than $20. And the painter's pant, excuse me. I actually bought a 7-Eleven shirt. So I could, okay, that's a whole nother thing. I ended up using this as my magic box because I just think walking in with a fuzzy purple box is so fun as your kid's performer. And yeah, so I did the mouth coil thing. And let's see. um, I would have this thing and I would pretend like we were going to bake a cake. And I'd say, what do we put? Ingredients. And they would throw the ingredients. I'd pretend like it was, landing on me. Oh, goodness, be careful where you're throwing it. And then we would do the lid and then all the hocus pocus. And then what do we have? What? How did that happen? But sometimes I would put candy in there and tell them that they put too much fake sugar in it. And so I'll give that out later. Big mistake is to give the candy out in the middle of the show. You say, come see me later. Also, I'm not going to do all the tricks, but there was this thing that I didn't really love to do because it was more of the story than any. Well, I guess all of these magic tricks are more of the story. This isn't really magic. This is stuff you have to buy. So it's not sleight of hand. Just like I can't blow up balloons on my own, I need the hand thing. I need actual magic because I don't know how to do sleight of hand. Anyway, this was really cute because you have these three things and it's red, white, and blue, and they're each a different handkerchief. And then, oh my goodness, hocus pocus, and it's an American flag. Amazing. And what it is it has this thing underneath it and you switch it and inside the bag changes from one to another. This one's broken, so it's hard to do with a thumb because it's not really moving, but yeah, it still did the trick. And then there were more, but I'm just going to show you one more. I had this coloring book, which, if you have kids, your kids might have this on their own, or is it just because my nephews are, their aunt is an ex-clown. This was, I would have to remind myself how this works. All right. Oh, whoops. That was a big whoopsie. Let me erase. I'm so sorry. There's nothing there, right? So I'd throw fake pencils and they'd have to draw. And then, but now we need color. And that's when I would take out this big inflatable crayon that I would bring and leave for the child. So cute. It's actually giant, the size of a child. And I would get most likely the birthday kid and they would stand there and I'd hold it, sort of like directing it to wave like a magic wand over this. And they'd hold the other end of it. It was very long. And they stood next to me. And I would make it so it's like 1, 2, and it would hit me in the head. Now, kids have different responses to all this. Most of them are defending themselves while they're laughing at me, which is so cute and the exact thing. And the kids are laughing. But some kids, and it's just a handful, they would have 2 different responses. One actually felt bad, right? And I don't think there were more than like 2 to 5 kids who went through this. They would feel bad. They'd be like, oh, I'm really not. They would try to straighten out. They would maybe let go of it. They would get a little anxious about it. And I'd be like, oh my goodness, okay, let me take this down 1,000 for this kid. And the other one would go the opposite spectrum, and they would take it sometimes from me and start like aggressively bashing me even harder. Just like, oh, is this what we're doing? I'm in. And they would just go for it. It was a cute little magic show, and I would do face painting and balloon animals. And the way I started even doing this job, I loved this job. I loved this job. But the way I started doing it was I was going to college. I mean, was I going to college? I was going to the classes that I liked. I did a bunch of English class because he had us journaling constantly. Handed in my journal. He handed it back saying, if you need to talk to someone. So I liked that. I took an acting class. The guy was just a generous, we just had fun in there. So like I was pretty shy. I wasn't really acting, but it was such a nice class. Anyway, so I either got an A or I failed out of the class because I was not writing papers. So whatever required me to do that, I ended up not being there. Anyway, I was going to college. I was in the campus. It was in Queens. And on the bulletin board, it said this company was hiring, and like, if you're good with kids and you want to make money. And I was like, I'm good with kids. I want to make money. And I went for the interview. I think they were interviewing everybody. It's not like you had to hand in your resume. I think you either want to work with children. No, they were just interviewing everybody. And I think it was really smart to go to college. And I walked into their garage warehouse and I saw Power Rangers. Rangers of Power costumes, and I recognized it because I was 18 and dating someone who was into Power Rangers. He was older than me. We went to the same college. But it wasn't, not a lot of people knew about Power Rangers. Rangers of Power at that time. So it was like, I was on the interview killing it, going, I know what that is. And I also told them I worked with kids. Now, again, I'm 18. How much work could I have done? So I'm, being an adult, and I've had past experience. I babysat and I tutored. I have a lot of kid experience. And I just was a kid, so that counts. And I got hired. But later, the boss told me that I was a terrible interview. She almost didn't hire me. I was a little weird. And I believe it. It's so on brand. I'm so uncomfortable. I never really did interviews for work. So that might have been my first one. I was mostly I auditioned more than I interviewed. So I just, and I didn't audition well either. I don't like to be tested. I just know I can do it. Anyway, I got really lucky and I got hired. So at first you go and you train with people, and training is really just, hey, come with us on these jobs. And if we can use your hands, we will. Like if you put together sometimes a puppet show stage by holding something. But at first you're just watching things. Then you are a costume character. So you're a big head thing. And so you're not speaking, you're not really doing much. So you're able to sort of integrate a little bit more. And then you're what's called a main performer. So you're running it, you're timing it, you're doing the magic, you're doing the balloons and face painting. And that costume character is sort of picking up maybe a couple balloons also, but you're the one moving things along, and you're the one driving and all of that stuff. And again, I loved it, but I was still very, very shy. And this job was good for me because eventually after the training, your boss really isn't there. You're with a peer. You're with someone around your age who you're driving to the job with. So you're getting to know and you're getting a little bit more comfortable and you're in the position of learning still. And because I wasn't really good with authority, so it's like as soon as the boss is there, I'm uncomfortable and I start messing up my words and everything. So here, I'm with a peer, I go to someone's house. If we don't like that person, there's another house waiting for us. It's not a big deal. It's not like going into an office where if you hate the office atmosphere, like that's it, good luck to you. So I still was shy. I wasn't the main performer yet. And there was a moment where I came out of my shell. We did something called double daring. And it was like, oh, do you know the answer to this? Do you know the answer to this? No. Then we are now doing some sort of relay race or something like that. We were in a junior high school. The person who was supposed to run it was not there. And so the other boss who really didn't know what this game, it seemed like they never saw this game before and they were trying to do it. And they passed me the mic for a second to hold it, but everyone was getting restless, and I suddenly kicked into gear and went a little bit faster. I knew the game a little bit more, so I ran something for the first time. My bosses were like, where is this kid coming from? I thought she was shy. I just happened to be able to kick into gear for a moment because it was in me. Something was in me, and it came out for that minute. And then I was able to become more and more of a main performer, of running the jobs and things like that. And I was booked the most at some point. Because I was booked the most, I started being able to get my friends, and my brother was hired. There was a time that me and my brother, so he would be the costume character. My brother would come with me for a whole weekend, and I would just run most of it. He would do some balloon animals and stuff and, help me with the stuff to the car and everything. It was so much fun because I loved being with him. And we were Rangers of Power for a long time. Every weekend, almost every job. There was a weekend where we just kept that outfit on and just put our clothes over it because we knew the next job was a bodysuit and a big head again. I did magic through it. I did balloons through it. And here's the problem is they are bodysuits. If you remember Rangers of Power, if you know what that is, they're bodysuits. The first bodysuit, the Pink Ranger, the pink power, the Pink Ranger of Power is what I got booked as. And the outfit was legit see-through. So I was wearing a bodysuit and you could see my underwear and bra. And I don't know if I knew it. I was just putting on the suit and I figured, if this is a thing for children, it's not going to be see-through. Who's thinking about if it's going to be see-through? Nobody knew it was see-through until one client called and said, hey, this girl is... And so they gave me, they told me to wear maybe... I wore biking shorts and like a sports bra or like a longer, like a little tunic thing or something. And it was still see-through. So I had to wear 3 layers. I wore a full body suit and the biker shorts and the top and the actual power suit. And walked around some kids' parties. I don't think I would dare do that now, but it was a fun time. And one time, I wonder if I could find the picture of this. I was hired for an adult party, and I was taking Polaroid pictures of people. And I guess it was French themed. So my boss decided that I'm wearing a giant croissant on my head. And I mean like giant. It was light. It was fine. And just... I was walking around in the French accent and just pretend I was being sassy at people because it was an adult party. I wasn't being rude or roasty or anything. I was just like, would you like to take whatever? It was like 19 or 18, 19. And here's the thing. I was able to interact with the adults and do what I'm supposed to do, except when in the corner of my eye, I would see my boss and then I would shut down. Oh my God, it's authority. And I didn't know how to react. And she knew it. She was so kind. She was like, all right, I see that this is happening. I see that I'm making you uncomfortable. And she would not be around or not show me that she was around. But then I would catch her sneaking a peek. But Eventually, I got over it. This job was really good for me coming out of my shyness. It helped me a lot. It got me out of my shell. It was very flexible. It gave me the opportunity and time to pursue singing. It was really, really good. I also I went to Connecticut sometimes and New Jersey, all over all the boroughs of New York. So I started getting to know other neighborhoods. Um, and yeah, I got to know some really incredible places, meet people, work with fun people. I mean, I sound like this is a job recruiter or something, but if you're a teenager, it's something I think, or maybe in college at this point, we used to start working really young. But yeah, a college gig, weekends, summertime, because you're working like the carnival things. You know what? I'm starting to hear myself. Not everybody wants to do this. This doesn't sound fun to some people. And to me, I have to catch myself and remember that this isn't fun for absolutely everybody. That's how much I loved it. But anyway, that was my job. Oh, it was my job for over a decade, and I really appreciate it. I'm so grateful for it. And I'm going to keep on packing because we're moving, like I mentioned, and because we are now to the point where we have to, break down the technology and put things into boxes and everything. This I might not be able to record. I won't be able to record on the regular basis that I am. So you might see a little bit of a break. Number one, I hope you listen to the rest of this, watch the rest of these. And if you miss me, which I hope you do, listen to the Gilmore podcast that I'm doing. It's called Gilmore Friends Podcast. And I know some of you don't watch Gilmore Friends or don't think that you're as obsessed as I am. You don't need to be. Some of the people who listen don't actually watch the show because a lot of times me and Carrie, it's Carrie Gravenson, we mostly talk about ourselves. It's like, oh, that's the trigger for talking about our relationship with our mother in this way. Oh, that's the trigger of talking about our neighbor, our first crush, things like that. So it's been like, shout out to Carrie Gravenson. She's never seen the show before. So we have such a fresh perspective. And because I've seen it a million times, it's so much fun watching with someone who's never seen it. Now, am I annoying sometimes to her? Maybe. I don't want to watch a show that somebody loves while they're staring at me like I do to her, but we have a good time. So like I said, it's called Gilmore Friends. And if you like this vlog, click the buttons in front of you. It would mean a lot to me. And good luck to me moving. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, thanks. Bye.